Welcome back, everybody. Now, it's no secret that South Africans love good food, a good party, and good music. Now, Spotify is combining all three for a month-long experiential pop-up cafe in Braamfontein. Greasy Tunes will combine the best of South Africa's greasy foods. I mean, you can think of Amagwinya, Chow, and Koeksisters with the best of African music and culture. Due to kickstart on the 1st of July, this morning we're joined by Spotify Sub-Saharan Africa's lead music strategist and operations officer, Warren Bokwe. Warren, a very good morning. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome.
Good morning, Cyprian and viewers.
Now, tell us about Greasy Tunes and how this will be celebrating Spotify's, playlist.
So, Spotify Greasy Tunes Cafe is a month-long pop-up. We're doing it in Braamfontein, starting today, where basically what we're doing is attaching 4 key playlists to community, culture, music, and of course, greasy food.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, how does music and greasy food join?
So, I think the idea is that, oily food is sort of a commonality across all cultures as South Africans, no matter which background you're from. And I think what we're trying to do is use this as something to bring music, all the different kinds of music in South Africa. So, I mean, I can just walk through kind of the program quickly. So the first week is Mint, which is our house-leading playlist. We'll actually have someone with quite a big legacy in this building, Glenn Lewis, who will be playing one of the nights. Then the second weekend is Amapiano Grooves, so, the music all the kids are listening to and we love so much. The third week is Mzansi Raps, which is hip-hop focus. And then we close out with Pan-African weekend, which is like everything Afrobeat and everything in between. So yeah, that's the idea. And then on top of that, what we try and do every week is sort of match it with relevant food, which makes sense.
What's relevant food?
So I'll give
why
you
greasy food?
The cafe really based in a kind of township aesthetic, so something really on the street, coming together, people can gather, and yeah, I think we kind of make it very informal and fun. I guess, I'll give you an example. On the Amapiano third week, we've got a Milo and Cheesy and a Kilimanjaro quarter. So PC and Justin 99 will be performing, so will Milo and Sleazy, So we've really tried our best to kind of match the food and have the themes kind of carrying on between both.
And who came up with this idea of greasy foods, and how will the culinary experience play out?
So last year we actually did this in the UK on a kind of much smaller scale, quite podcast-leaning performances as well. So we thought, this would be a great idea to kind of expand.
Was it the same concept as Greasy Foods?
Exactly, it's same name, Greasy Tunes. So the idea was to roll that out in Johannesburg, and I think it's the first touch point for the general public in terms of interaction with the brand and finding a good way to connect it to the playlist on platform.
I mean, what really triggered this idea to come into fruition? I mean, as you were doing research, what came out of that research?
So I think what we did a lot is, spend a lot of time looking at data, the trends, how we can engage our audience, and I guess grow a new audience. And I think what we wanted to do was find a fun way for, the audience to discover, and what we call discovery, which is, discover new music, new artists. I mean, another thing which is quite key is podcasts. We've started our podcast business on the continent, so we're recording podcasts as well once a week. So that's also another element of creators we want to kind of highlight and educate. Another part is our master classes. So we'll be inviting a batch of artists related to that genre for the week, and we'll be educating them on Spotify tools, how to use the platform to grow the audience.
Okay. Now, just break down the month-long program of curated food, music.
So 4 weeks. The first one, house music. Playlist is called Mint SA. Second week, Amapiano Grooves, what it says. Third week, rap, Mzansi Raps, the playlist. And then the last one, we call it Pan Africa.
So what would be happening during those 4 weeks?
What we have is the Thursday, we'll be recording podcasts. Thursday during the day, there's a master class. Then we do something quite fun on the Thursday night called Dancing Through the Decades. So this week, it's Glenn Lewis. He'll take us on this journey of South African house, as we know, from his, afternoon shows in the late 90s through to, so he'll kind of take us on a journey. Friday is what we call Fresh Friday. So this is really discovery, new artists on the cusp, For Discovery, Saturday spotlights. So that's like your kind of big, well-known artist, the big party night. And then something fun on a Sunday, which we call blended braais, where the idea is to almost have a kind of laid-back braai set up from the afternoon into the evening. You know, we're kind of programming and music performances.
How
to
cool
suit,
is that?
You know,
How
so
cool is
something
that?
different every single night. But yeah, what we're hoping to do, people step out of their comfort zone and come to discover, maybe, you know, come to something that you wouldn't maybe ordinary garden party to.
Right. So who are you catering for in this experience?
So very Gen Z leaning. That's why I'm Braamfontein, you know, the students around. But I think anybody really. But yeah, I'd say Gen Z, early millennials is who we're after.
Okay, so what is it that you're trying to achieve with this concept?
So what we're trying to achieve here, I mean, we're always looking for, you know, new creative ways to engage and interact with the listeners. But I think, you know, it's really an exercise to kind of build a Spotify brand, you know, go what we call off platform, where you're present, and find a fun way, like I said, for folks to interact with. That will kind of be the measure. And of course, have fun and enjoy tasty food.
Yeah. Let's talk about what Spotify is all about, which is music.
Yes.
So which music genre is topping the charts these days?
Do you want me to be specific?
Well, you can.
Okay,
Yeah.
so everything is Mnike.
Okay.
Yeah, everything is Mnike. Mnike has been, I think, top of the pop since it came out in April, you know.
Okay.
So that's not really moving much, and it's interesting. Even beating international stuff, you know. So yes, I'm a piano, definitely leading the charge. That's what we're seeing through and through. Don't see it changing anytime soon.
You mean in South Africa or just about
in South Africa?
Across the board?
On the continent, Afrobeats, obviously,
right.
you know, that's growing broadly internationally. You know, we've seen a new Grammy category announced 2 weeks ago, Best African International Performance. And yeah, that's a flag we're happy to bear and be part of that, you know, as we kind of grow and educate audiences abroad. You know, Wednesday and Thursday, a lot of our countrymen and women were in Portugal at Afro Nation, flying the flag high. So, yeah, looking to continue that story and be a part.
Right. No, remind us again of where the festival will be taking place and all the details.
A month long, Greasy Tunes Cafe, 5 De Beer Street, Braamfontein.
Okay. Lovely chatting to you, man. All the best.
Thank you so much, Imperial.
Thank you. Well, Greasy Tunes will be brought to life through masterclasses, live artist performances, and of course food. We just spoke to Spotify Sub-Saharan Africa's lead music strategy and operations officer, Warren Bokwe.